Welcome to the Faith and Spirituality Center orientation for the Multi Faith Spaces on campus. Once you are done this video, please go to the Multi Faith Space Terms of Reference quiz. Once you get 100% on that quiz, then you can use your booking. There are 3 multi-faith spaces on campus that fall under these regulations. The first one that you're seeing here is the large and small multi-faith rooms found in the McEwen Student Center. If you're looking on your Room Finder app, you'd find them under MSC 317 and 317A. There is also the Vitruvian space found in the Dining Center, which is this building here. This can be found on your Room Finder under DC12. Lastly, there's a drop-in space on Foothills campus that can be found under HSC 1001. It is important that the multi-faith spaces on campus are inclusive and welcoming to all. The use of facilities for non-academic purposes policy applies to all of the multi-faith spaces. Multi-faith space bookings are available to all UCalgary members, including staff, students, and faculty for activities related to spiritual health, well-being, wellness, and religious or cultural programming. To book the space, you must be a member of the University of Calgary. UCalgary members may not book the space on behalf of third-party organizations without permission from the Faith and Spirituality Center. All multi-faith spaces are also available for drop-in use by students, staff, and faculty, and the broader community on campus for campus business. Before dropping into the multi-faith space, please ensure that the space is not being utilized by a scheduled group. You may check the posted schedules outside of each room. When the space has not been booked, drop-in is available. To book the spaces, please complete room booking request forms found on the Faith and Spirituality Center's website. You will see that you can book the spaces for one-time only events as well as recurring events. One-time only bookings occur on a singular date and are subject to multi-faith space regulations outlined in the video. Regular recurring event bookings occur on a regular interval, such as weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly events. Bookings open on July 1st for the fall and winter semesters, and on January 2nd for the spring and summer semesters. Should a booking need to be canceled, please ensure that you cancel at least 3 working days before the booking by emailing fscbookings@ucalgary.ca. If a booking is not utilized without proper cancellation, future bookings could be jeopardized. The Vitruvian space is open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 365 days a year. Access to other prayer spaces is subject to the building's access hours. So after hours events are permitted in the Vitruvian space, but they must first be approved by the Faith and Spirituality Center, and you can do that by contacting fscbookings@ucalgary.ca. The multi-faith space users are expected to follow these guidelines. All users of the space are responsible for general tidying up and removal of garbage. There are yoga mats, cushions, tables, chairs, and prayer mats that are available for use in the multi-faith spaces, but they may not be removed and should be returned back to the proper storage areas after use. Exits and storage doors must be kept clear at all times. Front doors may not be propped open for access to the space unless for accessibility reasons. Ablution station shoes in the Vitruvian space must stay within the Vitruvian space. And if there are any damage, leaks, spills, excess garbage, or repairs that are needed in any of the multi-faith spaces, you can deal with them in one of 3 different ways. You can email fscbookings@ucalgary.ca and the Faith and Spirituality Center will submit a ticket on your behalf. You can also submit a request yourself through Archibus. And for immediate concerns, you can call campus facilities at 403-220-7555. Food can be eaten in the space, however, it is only permitted during booked events. For religious observations, outside food is permitted to be brought in. For events and activities in the Vitruvian space that require catering, Aramark catering must be used. To book Aramark catering, you can contact Conference and Events Management at cem@ucalgary.ca. Any leftover food and containers should be disposed of properly and cannot be left in the space. Any extra cleanup required will be billed to the room user. And under no circumstances is alcohol permitted in any of the multi-faith spaces. Please try to keep noise to a minimum unless prior approval has been granted. Activities within the multi-faith space tend to be meditative in nature, and noise can disrupt the contemplation that people are having. There's also offices and conference rooms adjacent to the spaces, so please be mindful of the volume. Signage can only be placed on designated poster boards. Please do not attach any signage to the walls or the windows within the space. Groups will be billed for any damages that happen. Extra storage is available on a first-come, first-served basis. Email fscbookings@ucalgary.ca to arrange storage. And we are very lucky at the University of Calgary that there are ablution stations outside of the Vitruvian space and the MSc 317 prayer spaces. Please perform wudu or foot cleansing within the ablution stations. The use of candles, incense, or smudge is only allowed within Firmitas A and B of the Vitruvian space. These are the steps that must be taken before creating any kind of smoke. The divider between Firmitas A and B must be closed. All other doors must be closed as well. The exhaust must also be turned on. The switch can be found beside the light switches shown here. Lastly, when the ritual is complete and the smoke is gone, the switch for the exhaust should be turned off. It is also good to note that cigarettes or vaporizers are not permitted in the space at any time. Please note that the University of Calgary is not responsible for any lost or stolen items in the multi-faith spaces. Please report any losses to campus security. Speaking of security, there are TV monitoring cameras within the Vitruvian space, so if there's any concerns about security, please call campus security at 403-220-5333. And if there is any immediate concern about safety, please call 911. You can revisit any of these rules and regulations by reading the Multi-Faith Space Terms of Reference found on the Faith and Spirituality Center's website. Thank you, and please email the Faith and Spirituality Center if you have any questions.